Welcome back to Conspiracy Happy Hour.
Oh, I'm just a guest. Don't look at me to start talking.
I thought we were interviewing my replacement.
Yeah.
There must always be an Italian on the couch.
Just a lot, yeah.
So this is, in case you haven't realized at this point, second video that we're doing.
Yes.
And also, it's our second featured episode.
Woo! We've made it to... We've done more than... Oh, this is our 10th episode.
Makes sense.
It has.
Every 5 episodes.
I know.
Put my hands up
the
with
dog.
a
Here comes
camera
the
that
dog.
was-
The dog's like making its way through the stuff.
She's like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, we did it. This is our second guest episode, which is super exciting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anthony,
You're
I'm
welcome.
honored that you're super excited.
tell
that I'm
them
here.
who you are and
Uh,
how we know you.
My
Why?
name's Anthony. I get everyone drunk. I'm a
Yes.
bartender
He's a great
at the
bartender.
local watering hole,
Yeah.
and I push my alcoholism off on everyone else.
So,
yeah,
And we got to return the favor today.
Yes.
yes,
we
yes.
have our special
Let me pull it behind
conspiracy
the
happy
curtain.
hour.
Yeah.
We have our special conspiracy happy hour.
Which we
drink.
all drank because it took an hour and a
Yeah.
half to get this
and
video
I,
set
I
up.
don't have a name for it because
But like out of 1 to 10.
oh,
give
it's
us
a very
one.
good drink.
Okay.
Very good drink. Sans the cherries.
Should we cheers?
Yes, cheers.
I can't reach.
Cheers. Well, pass it
Ah,
down.
Okay.
Pass it along.
Mm.
It
I
is
like
actually
it.
really good. I just made a sound that sounded
Yeah.
fake, but
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
actually...
that was a very fake.
It is
I
actually
added
really good.
extra alcohol to it because
That's why
that
it's good.
tends to be what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Unintentional.
We'll
Well,
po-
and with the setup, I feel like it was necessary to have
Yeah.
extra alcohol.
and of
I would
course
not
we'll
still
pick.
be sitting
We'll
here.
post the recipe, and the recipe, Anthony, if you're not aware, also comes with an Allie style, which
Ah.
is
An extra shot.
not the correct
extra
measurement.
few
Yeah,
shots.
no, yeah.
Extra few shots.
It's like that clip of the semi-homemade with Sandra Lee when
Yeah.
she's like 2 shots
Oh,
vanilla
glug,
vodka
glug,
and
glug,
then
glug,
dumps
glug,
the
glug,
half
glug.
a bottle.
Well,
in
it's
there.
more like
Yeah, no.
1 ounce of Crown Royal, 1 shot.
So
Doesn't
I
realize
did-
or a shot is
I
not
did
actually.
add
Yeah.
extra Crown Royal intentionally though.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But it's very good.
It's
Crown
necessary.
Royal. Get what we're going
Yes,
at
it's
here.
And we will have the recipe posted on our Patreon.
Yes. So, and speaking of our Patreon, we just did our first happy hour after hours. Did you just fucking knock everything over?
I knocked over my line in Google.
Fuck. Is it open?
It was, yeah.
Oh,
So, anyways,
bye, Dan.
gonna get paper towels.
Bye,
We just did our
Dan.
first happy hour after hours. So if you were not on there, you should sign up for our conspiracy happy hour after hour tier. We meant to go an hour. It went 3 hours long of just bullshitting, telling ass stabbing stories or just ass stories in general.
Ass stabbing.
Look at my butt.
I feel
That's
like
all I can
once
look at right
someone
now.
says
That's
don't look
all I
at my
can
butt,
look at.
that's the only
I'll
place you
clean, I'll
want to
clean that
look.
up once we're done.
That's the only place you're gonna look, though.
Meanwhile, the
I know.
dog will be over there lopping it up the whole time, like
Gray's
passed
gonna
out on
be. He's
the
already
floor.
drugged. Now he's gonna be like.
You're gonna get wasted.
He's
Okay.
mixing his Xanax with alcohol, just like a good suburban house dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Like every
Suburban house. So, should we jump into our? Well, actually, before we start doing this, somebody better tell me that they've seen what's it called? Only Murders in the Building.
nope.
No,
Because I
That's
talked
the-
to you about
that's-
this one last time.
Is that the Steve
Yes.
Martin?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
Martin Short, Steve Martin, and
Yeah.
Selena Gomez.
No, I've heard it was good.
So the finale of
Talking to the
episode
microphone.
I'm talking into the
suck
microphone.
the dick.
I feel like I talk loud enough, though.
So the season finale of episode 2 just came out, and it was so good.
Nope.
Season
Okay.
finale of season 2,
I feel
not episode 2. Season finale of season 2.
The season
Yeah.
finale of episode 2.
Season finale, episode 2 of season 3.
It's definitely on my list, but now Game of Thrones is back.
Yeah.
Lord
See,
of the
I'm
Rings
not-
comes out on
Oh, Yeah,
tomorrow.
you're not talking
The
my
second,
language at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Abbott Elementary comes back. I got too many
Ooh,
shows
I love
coming
that
back.
one. I can do that one.
I'm binging now. Not really binging. I'm watching Snowfall.
What's that?
I've heard of
It's
that.
on FX. Well, I'm watching it on Hulu, and it's like the crack cocaine epidemic of like the mid to late 80s in like Southern California. And it's like one of those shows where there's like multiple main characters, and then their story all kind of converges as to
Okay.
all they kind of have to.
That's cool.
One of my friends told me to do that. So now, like, and now I
What is
always
that
feel
on?
like, I think the last season, well, the most recent season just ended, so everything's on Hulu right now.
Hulu, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's on TV. It's just,
Yeah, it's
okay,
an
okay,
FX
okay.
show. Yeah, and I always just feel like with television shows where people are like there's always like the next newest and greatest thing, and I can literally I can't keep up with a television show.
Well, then I think the one show on like Netflix that had come out, it's getting a season 3. But did you ever see Dead to Me?
I watched the first season of that.
So
Yeah, it was very,
good.
very good.
That ended though, right? Or is this the last season?
No. I think there's another season coming up.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, no,
I watched the first season.
watched,
I didn't watch any of the rest.
Yeah,
though.
same. I watched the first season
was
with.
okay.
But you forget about them.
Yeah.
You forget, and then you just don't go back.
And especially with
That's what
the Netflix shows, they come out, you watch an episode, you love it, you binge it, and then you wait like 18 months, and then you're like,
That's
nah, you know what? Like,
that's almost the downfall of binging stuff. Because
Yeah.
Because you finish it all in 2 days, and then you have like a year before
year.
something else comes
Yep.
back
And I
out.
forget.
absolutely. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the fun thing with like the Game of Thrones shows, where it's like, oh, I only need to devote like 1 hour a week to this. And then you devote 1 hour a week, and then I watch like 30 to 40 minute YouTube videos where it's like a dissertation on each episode. But like that, where you're just watching the one episode each week.
The peanut gallery's excited again.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, no, the Netflix style, like, it's good and bad. It's good for like older shows. Like, it's great if you like someone tells you to watch a show and you click on it and you're like,
if you,
oh, 6
I
seasons.
just started watching
like,
Seinfeld from the very beginning. I've never seen it
Absolutely.
before, but that's a good
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
to watch.
Good
Like
example.
yeah, where
Golden
yeah.
Girls.
Yeah, like with like that sitcom style where you can like blow through a season and you're like, oh, cool, there's 11 more seasons that I can watch of this. But like if something brand new comes out and then it's like one season and then they're like, we'll return in 2024, and now you're just like, nah, you know
That's
what?
why
You might, but I might not.
Yeah.
So
I literally have a TV show tracker on my phone. Like it's an app.
What? And it'll
That's
tell
a
you when
thing?
everything new
It's
comes
called
out.
it's called TV Time, non-sponsored. And yeah, you literally say I'm watching this, and you can mark off the episodes you watch, and you'll get notifications saying Abbott Elementary is coming back in 2 days.
wow.
Or
Oh
something.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only way I remember, because like you just said, we watch it in 2 days because you binge it. And
is
then
it a preset app? Like, is it like something that when you get a phone it comes with, or do you have to download
you
it?
download it
Okay.
from the App Store.
Okay.
Available on Android and iOS.
Not sponsored.
But it is actually really good, and you can it tells you, the thing I like it the best is like someone tells you a show, you're like, oh, I really like Snowfall, whatever you just said. I can go in the app and it tells you like what station it's on, where to watch it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what one of the main features I use it for, because
Yeah.
people tell me
Remind
show all the
you.
time, and I'm just like, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I have no
I don't
idea.
have cable.
Yeah.
Where can I watch it? Oh, Prime. Okay,
Yeah, or the
cool.
worst is like when someone's like, "Oh, have you ever seen Names a Show?" And then you're like, "No, what's it on?" And they're like,
I don't
Amazon,
remember.
Hulu, or Netflix. One of those. You're like, "Well, that's pretty much
That's
where
three
that's pretty much where
options. Yeah.
everything is."
I know. Usually when someone says that, I was like, is it a show that is on TV? Because that's usually Hulu.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Hulu is like what's currently happening.
like
Will I
DVR
see
a
the
day later.
characters appear in Disney World?
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
No, yes.
Yes, is it owned by Disney in general?
I don't know why I like got that when speaking of Disney Plus, like when they got like all the old like Fox properties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only person who watches my Disney Plus, and for some reason I put a pin on my own, like a pin protector on my own Disney Plus thing. So every time
you're the only one who uses it.
every time I go to log in, and I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
Are you trying not to let your family know you're watching High School Musical, the musical, the series?
over and over
Oh my
and
god.
over again. Yeah.
Is there season 2?
It just came out. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't watch it
When
yet,
I watched
though.
the first one. Well, we'll have to
they're at
binge
summer
it.
camp.
That sounds pretty like sequential.
It sounds
with
like
the
the second
movies.
movie.
Yeah.
Except for they're not
pre-
on the
they're
golf
pretty
course.
much just doing that, where they're just
I'm
gonna.
okay with it. I love the High School Musicals.
Yeah, I see. My family, we didn't have we didn't have Disney Channel.
We did
growing
not.
up.
I didn't either.
So
not either.
But
I was on the outs with all that.
they came out. I only had Disney Channel when my family took
They were on like
our-
ABC or something, right?
Disney Channel.
Well, no. But like High School Musical ended up on like ABC Family or whatever it was, because I think it was like mixed with Disney, because they did that
Maybe
Sunday
later.
Sunday movie Disney nights or whatever. Like
Yeah,
that.
but I
Maybe
think
later,
like
but not when
maybe
they-
the second and third
not
one
when
might
they
have got
came
on
out.
ABC directly,
Okay.
because like I don't think they had any idea how big the first
No.
one was going to be.
No, it got
I
Yeah.
only watched them when they came out because I had the Disney Channel for like 2 weeks out of the year when my family took our trip to Wildwood, because like the house, like
yeah,
Yeah.
Disney
house,
was
yeah.
part of Comcast's package down there,
Yeah,
where for some reason we had to pay extra for it up
yeah.
here.
My family had the our condo in North Wildwood, and we would get Disney Channel, so that would just be like
Me and my cousins were like, "Oh, for one."
I would like
this
stand in
summer
front of the
has
computer
just
or in front of like the
begun.
computer or the television at my friend's house, and we would try to learn "We're all in this together."
Oh yeah, me and my cousins, we were all dancing in the middle of that condo. And literally, ours was in North Wildwood too.
yeah.
And yeah,
But I
watching High
never
School
saw
Musical.
Camp Rock.
No,
I don't
no.
think I
I've
saw that
only
one.
just seen that
I
really.
did, but later in life.
Yeah, I've only just seen that really awkward scene of them like
Going through the forest. Camp
no,
Rock.
yeah, the Camp Rock where they're like
The meme.
stomping their way in. Camp Rock, like that whole thing where it's just
Yeah,
turned
and they're
into,
like
like
just
a
going
meme.
by a group of people. I was like, this is a cult.
Yeah,
No idea what
yeah.
you're talking
Oh
about.
my
So
God.
this is great to
Yeah.
me.
You'll have to look it up. I'm sure
Yeah.
I've seen it on TikTok
Hand jive.
recently.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. That's probably the
You see
first
Demi
time.
and Demi Lovato, they're like literally stomping. They're like,
Yeah.
Camp
They look
Rock.
like they look like they're doing a like almost like a
a
like
step routine.
yeah like
Yeah.
a like a fraternity, like you know, like how like the
and
fraternities
then they're about
have
to
like the step
sacrifice
routine.
you
Yeah.
to the gods
Yep.
of Camp Rock.
Yep.
Love
No,
that.
I know I missed out on all the Disney stuff.
I
And
did-
because my family would have the Disney Channel in at our condo, but we also only had Comedy Central in the back television in the back
Oh,
room,
I remember. Yeah.
which was our
remember Crank Yankers?
where my
bro?
yeah where
The
my
puppets?
yeah where my sister and our room in the condo, and my grandfather would kick us out at 10 o'clock every night to watch Reno 911. So like we would literally
All I
get
remember about
we would
that
get-
was the short shorts.
yep
Wasn't Niecy Nash in that?
Yeah.
yeah
I thought I
New Boots
remember
Goofing.
her like.
yeah we
Who?
would get booted
New
out of
Boots
our room for like a half an hour, and we would just hear our grandfather just hysterically laughing and like
The fact that your
back room.
grandfather watched that, like,
Oh my
is
God, yeah.
great.
That
Yeah.
was like, that's just funny. That's I have a fond memory with my grandmother down the shore too. But it was like we always just watched like procedurals. So we're just like my grandmother slipping me a glass of, I'm like underage, a glass of Arbor Mist. And she's like, just have a little glass. And I'm like, and we're watching like The Closer.
Oh
yes
my god.
I was like, that's where my love of true crime came from. It
Yeah,
actually came from
absolutely
my grandmother, and she would watch me, and we'd watch Murder, She Wrote.
wow
That
they
grandmother.
did I saw a study on the most dangerous town in like all of media history,
Camden.
and
No,
no, and it's the town drawing a blank on the name, but it's the town
from Murder, She Wrote.
yeah, the
Yeah.
town from Murder, She
In
Wrote, because there's
England?
like each episode like
England.
one person gets murdered, and then there's like a general
It's just like Murder, She Wrote is like, you could compare it to what's the hospital show, Grey's Anatomy.
yeah
I would never go to that hospital.
no it's a
I would
horrible
never
hospital.
step foot in the vicinity
Too
of that
much
hospital.
drama.
yeah
Not
Is
drama.
that a real? Is it a real hospital though?
No.
no well like your loved one could die, and then the next room over like two doctors are like
And
banging
then-
it out,
and then
in,
a
like,
Oh my
the
god.
janitor's
And then a
closet.
tsunami takes the hospital out.
Yeah, yeah, like all the doctors die in like these grotesque ways. Like no one just goes of like
No,
natural
there's a
causes.
helicopter
Like
crashing over
yeah.
there. Someone gets run over
Jesus
by a tractor
Christ.
trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I would never. It's
Yeah, and
cursed.
like Murder, She Wrote was like this small little quaint town, but like each
Mhm.
episode, like
Another death.
one person was getting murdered, and it was like
Maybe I should
they
check
took
that show out.
yeah, they
That's
took
like
it-
my
yeah. You
You should
style
watch Murder, She
show.
Wrote.
Yeah.
Jessica Fletcher is a
Yeah.
American icon.
Yeah, it's some like ridiculous amount of the population got.
I
like,
just remember,
murdered
like,
in that show.
And I don't know what it is, but I think of that show and I think of the Dear Abby column in the newspaper.
Well, she's a writer.
Maybe that's why.
yeah,
She's writing books. Like she's just a writer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my mom used to.
And
make
for
me
some
read
reason,
Dear
she
Abby.
turns into a detective
Yeah,
because she has deductive reasoning because she's a writer.
Oh, okay.
yeah. That's a lateral move.
Mhm.
I like the like the.
It's like the kids you went to high school with who
Yeah.
played Call of Duty and
Yeah.
thought they could like go
And they
join
could
the
be a cop.
military or like something like that was like that's
Gets
the
you gun
best.
happy.
I know. I honestly, I rewatched Murder, She Wrote recently the whole way through. And I was like, oh God, the show is still so good.
Yeah,
What is
no,
it on
it's
now?
great.
I don't remember.
That's the problem right there. They don't remember what
Yeah,
it's
check
on.
your app.
I'll look at my app.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things where
Let
if you
me
like,
boot up
yeah.
TV Time, the app that's available on Android and iOS.
No, shush. We're not giving that much information away. We're not sponsored by them yet.
I bet if you Google, they gotta have like a box set on like
Sponsorship.
Blu-ray for Murder
Just
She
typed in
Wrote.
murder. Murder She Wrote.
I've been watching just YouTube all the time.
Just YouTube clips.
Oh, and
or
there's 12 seasons. By the way.
Videos. There's like a
12 seasons.
There's like a podcaster who does like
It's on
they'll
Peacock.
go to like the most.
Oh, I have that.
It's
Oh,
on
I got that too.
It's on
Yep.
Peacock or Roku channel, whatever that is.
I
or
got that
DirecTV.
too.
Mm.
Yeah, they do like that. They go explore like the haunted locations.
Oh
of
yeah,
the world.
yeah.
That's my
Which
type
one?
of thing. I don't. Sam and Colby, I think their name is. But they do like
What's
they,
the TV called?
it's YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube.
the
Yeah.
TV. What's the TV called?
They just go
What
explore
TV
like
called?
haunted
What's
like
that?
locations.
Tube.
Like the one that I just watched, they like explored Dracula's castle.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. But anyways,
Should we get started?
should we actually get
We're
started
just
on
shooting the
this?
breeze. I was
Yeah.
totally cool with just doing that and then totally
Well, I
forgetting.
was gonna say let's go to the bar afterwards, but you're like, yeah, I can't.
I mean, I called out, and this will air later, so they have no idea.
You
what
told
day
him
this is.
yesterday.
I know.
I was just gonna say you
I know.
couldn't, but you're like, yeah, I called out. Then everybody's gonna see this group like fucked.
Well, whatever.
What's Jeff gonna do?
I
Fire
have
him?
tenure. I've been there 6+ years.
Have
Can't get
you?
rid of me. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you've been there longer than I've been going there.
Yeah. Nope. That place needed me.
I believe
fixed
it.
That place.
I believe it.
I fixed that.
You brought
place.
everybody together.
I did. Me and Robert.
Robert.
Yes.
Bert.
Oh.
Me
Oh
and-
my
me
God,
and
that's
Bert.
his real name.
Yeah, Bert.
I always just called him Bert. I didn't know his name Robert.
I call him Bartholomew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go call him Robert
Call him
tomorrow.
Birdie. Yeah, you know. His mom calls him Bobby, and it's like the cutest thing in the world. She's the greatest woman ever.
I heard her say that, and I literally was like,
She gives me
The
yeah.
first time that I met her was the night that the sexy bingo came back.
Mhm.
She won the grand prize.
Yeah, nope. Yeah.
Bert comes over to our table
Can't
and
discuss
goes,
that with him.
"Yeah, my mom won like the $150 dildo."
Yeah.
I was like,
Can't
Okay.
cannot discuss that with him. He does not like it.
"Shut down."
Yeah, no. That's like he's an open book with everything, and then you're like, "Hey, Bert, I heard your mom won the sexy bingo prize." And he's like, "I don't want to talk about that."
he does.
Nope.
So, should we talk about our Mandela effect?
yes.
Surely.
Fact. I can't ever say that one right.
Effect.
Effect.
Just don't ask me to spell it.
Eff-
Mandela or effect.
Fact.
Oh, is it the E or the A?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's got to be my most Googled.
Effect, I think it's an E this time. Effect is like if it affects you somehow.
Yeah, one's
An
applied to
effect
something.
is what
Mhm.
happens. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no. It's my most Googled like tab
English
of
is
all
hard.
time.
No, mine
English
is
makes
I
no
will
sense.
talk
No,
in,
it
I'll
doesn't.
talk into my phone. Like I'll say like a phrase that has the word in it, so it like comes up with the right spelling for it, and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
available.
Let me write
That's
that-
how you spell.
Let me write
Yeah.
that down for later. I can never spell, and then we can get started. But
yeah.
my word that I always stumble on is convenience.
hmm
Like I'll still type an email at your
See,
earliest
I'm
convenience,
the
and I'm just
worst.
like, I just
speller
type it
ever.
and like hope for the best.
Yep. I used to remember how to spell tongue because it was the same keys on like the T9
like
texting
T-O-U.
as tonight as like T-O-N. So I literally just would type
different
that in. Yeah,
sequence?
and it was no, but it was because remember like with the old
You
phones,
had to click it like 3
Yeah.
times or 2
so
times.
you could do that, and it was I just
That's what I
remember
mean.
being
Just like
Can I
you
hear
click
it?
way.
twice this
Yeah.
time,
Can I
once
say
this
something
time.
controversial?
What's up?
I hated T9. I never used it. I used
What
to
did
click
you
rapidly all the
use?
time.
Oh, you would go all the way through.
I would.
Wow, you're a psycho.
You would go from A to Z if you
Well,
had to click a Z.
No, you go to
What do
the
you mean
letter
all
that
the
had
way
the Z
through?
on
yeah.
it. But
What was the one?
Yeah, but that's
one
what
of them had
T9
5
was,
letters on it.
wasn't
Wasn't
it?
the last one?
T9 was where it would like almost. It was like the early stages of predictive text.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about like the ABC. I think
I would.
it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would
So
just do that.
T9, yeah,
But
T9.
I
If you
got
were going
so-
to,
I
type
got
in-
used. I got really fast at it. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
not hard.
Yeah.
And then I got a sidekick, and that was cool.
Oh my god, it was like the whole
flip,
keyboard.
yeah.
It would go
That's another whole thing that we'll
I
have
still to this day I miss a physical keyboard. Not gonna
No,
lie.
I don't.
Yeah.
Remember the Blackberries? They just had
I
like
never had one.
keys this big.
I never had
Yep.
one.
Nope. They had that like center
The
the
trackball.
ball.
Oh
That- that-
my
the
god,
ball-
The
yeah,
side-
that
the
was
side-
like your
Yeah.
The
scrolling
sidekicks had
button.
those
Did
too.
they?
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay.
But anyways, our
go.
Mandela fact is the Monopoly Man. Does the Monopoly Man have a monocle?
No.
Dan,
I don't think he does.
he doesn't.
Nope.
Here's the thing that's really funny though.
Who has a has a monocle? Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut has a monocle. Yeah.
And that is not the Monopoly Man.
That's probably what everybody
Yeah.
thinks of. Like
Well,
okay.
He looks like he should have a
They are
monocle.
like straight up.
Yeah, he
the
just has a mustache,
same-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like seeing on my Google search.
Yeah.
This is probably not safe. But they have the same like images.
Yeah.
If we can do this, we fucked up last time, but the image will be right here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, now we have more time, so I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last week we were just waving our hands in the air. Nothing happened.
Nothing was happening. I have
You're right,
some
some of the editors.
I have an OG Monopoly board game that when I bought my house from my grandparents.
Did you find it in the basement? Don't
in
play
the
it.
attic. No.
Displayed
I'm not
on the-
playing it.
I
No,
would
but
like
it's a
hang it and
Monopoly
display it on
game.
the
How
wall.
Jumanji starts.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're gonna end up in Atlantic City.
I'm gonna end up in like 1920s
Here's
Atlantic
the-
City. Yeah.
Here's the thing: in Baltimore, I've like when I'll drive like to go to my doctor's appointments in Baltimore and stuff, there is a giant sign like on top of a building, and it is straight up this Monopoly man's face
Mhm.
with a monocle.
Oh.
And that's why it confuses me every time, because I was like, it is literally the same artwork, everything like that, and it's just
Maybe they couldn't get
Does the Pringles guy have a monocle too?
does
Oh.
he?
I feel like he does.
Oh.
I feel like all these people are like popping in my head after you said the
That's
Monopoly
probably
Man?
what it is.
I
then.
just always know that the Monopoly Man doesn't.
because he has
my
a
grandmother-
similar
yeah.
fate. Like, well, I think it's
Yeah.
just a round circle.
Yeah,
but-
the Pringles Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one would pop into his mouth. wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I totally just spelled prongles.
Prongles. Yeah. No, I'm very
Would you like a cherry?
no, thank you. I'm very up to date with my Monopoly. My grandfather's nickname was Boardwalk, and I used to think as a child it was because
He just not either.
Pringles Man doesn't have one.
No, he has 2 eyeballs, and
That's good.
Well, I'd hope so.
Wait, your grandfather's name was Boardwalk?
His nickname was Boardwalk, and I used to think it was because like he would spend these entire summers down the shore, but it was when he played Monopoly, the game was not over until he held the boardwalk piece.
wait a minute.
Like he would not let you
both.
quit.
Well, a lot of
Pringles.
I know a lot
Wait a
of
minute.
friendships are ruined over Monopoly.
Hold on, I'm not
our
even-
family almost disintegrated
I'm
over
not even
Monopoly.
kidding you. I googled Pringles Man,
Mhm.
straight Pringles Man, not conspiracy or anything. What comes up? But the Twitter post for Mandela Effect. Some people
Oh, I didn't
remember
even
the
realize this was one.
Some people remember the Pringles guy having an eyeglass.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeglass. I'm not sure about this one, but it does look like he's missing something. So, like,
Oh.
A,
Mm?
without
Oh, that's the one I.
That's the
okay.
one I
Yeah.
remember.
B.
Okay.
I don't know if we can even see this far away.
See, I just feel like no. I
No,
just
that-
feel
I
like
don't think
yeah.
that,
That
one's
looks
right.
wrong.
That,
Yeah.
looks
That looks wrong.
It looks like he belongs without anything.
I just feel like every
Drink my half.
every like drawing of an old white dude with a mustache. They're like, did he have a
He
monocle?
should have
Like,
a monocle.
because it looks right. And the Monopoly Man, you would think almost because the way he's dressed, like top hat,
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
like suit, not paying taxes on his
He just
buildings.
moved my camera.
That's something.
Charging rents.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
good.
That's something. I remember I recently
I'm
asked
a
somebody.
communist.
I recently asked somebody if they played Monopoly the right way, and they were
What's
like, "What
the
do you mean
right
the right
way?"
way?" And I was like, "So if Dan goes and he lands on, like a property and nobody owns it, if he doesn't buy that property, then it's open for sale to all the other.
But until that point,
players.
it's not.
Well, so like if
I didn't
Dan,
even know that was the rule.
yeah, that's like the actual rule that if you
Oh,
land on,
so if you
it-
land on it, Dan gets first choice. But if he doesn't want
yeah,
it,
if he
then
doesn't want
anybody
it,
can
then
snatch it.
anybody can, and I believe
Bidding war?
it goes to a bidding war or something like that. So like it's one
I
of
had
those
no
things
idea.
where like
Me
people are like,
either.
oh my god, Monopoly takes so long because they're rolling and you might not land on a certain thing, but like Dan's landed on it like forever ago. So it's actually supposed to make the game move a little faster.
Yeah, I might actually like it if we played that way.
Yeah, and
I
it would
don't know,
go
I
a,
still
it would
think
go a
so.
lot faster.
I play Monopoly Junior and still can't get through it. I'm just like, dear God. Don't laugh at me. Should we get started with your conspiracy?
Oh,
Yeah, we were your bartenders tonight, so you have to
Yeah,
give us
yeah.
a story.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to give us a story, and then also by the time you're done, are you gonna just make out with my dog?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
great.
By the time you are done,
Yes.
Okay.
you have to name our drink.
He's actually about
This
to
is
start.
literally gonna be the title of our drink.
I can't even think of it.
Her
Well,
Royal Highness.
Yeah.
Her Royal Hiney.
Well, sometimes it does help. I mean, we only done this once before,
Uh-huh.
but as our
as
last
he's
guest was telling
discussing.
his
Yeah.
tale to us, like the name kind of just like appears.
Well, like I'm trying to think of all like the different.
We'll go through it, and then if you
things.
say something funny,
Yeah.
be like, "That's the name."
I guess.
And if not, we'll
Yeah.
force you to
Talking
name
to the
it.
microphone.
I'm talking into the
We'll
microphone.
do a couple
Don't look at
shots with you
Allison.
on Friday.
I'm not looking at Allison. Why? Oh, when I look at Allison, my head
Yeah.
inherently moves farther away.
It does.
I'm just so distracted.
So my conspiracy that I wanted to discuss. It's not like I'm real big on when a celebrity or like a famous person dies. I'm never the person that's like they're still alive,
Mhm.
but like I feel like especially
It's not the way they say they died.
it's never the way. It's never as cut and dry as they like make it seem. And like with like JFK, like he's one of the more popular presidents in American history. He gets murdered in broad daylight, and there's literally only like one film of it.
Mhm.
And I get it was a different time back then.
But even
But
still,
there
what
was
they
no,
show,
like,
the angles.
but yeah,
don't work.
and like no president was making a public appearance without like multiple cameras and
Mhm.
like photographers and all that stuff. And so that one's always like wonky with and like the one shooter on the grassy knoll, like eh. But the one that's always intrigued me a lot was Princess Diana. Was just all
Great, too.
the yeah, and today on the day of filming, it's the 25th anniversary of her passing.
Which is really coincidental.
It's just like it never. There was just so much stuff that like about it that just seemed weird. So she died on August 31st in 1997 in Paris, France, in Pont de la Mort
So she
tunnel.
wasn't even in England. She was in Paris, France.
No, she was in Paris, France. So she initially that summer was I read she was supposed to take her sons to New York for a trip, but got told no. So then Mohammed Al Fayed was what was described as like her host, invited her and her sons on his like super yacht. This thing is gigantic. I forget the exact measurement of it. So she went there with the kids. I don't know if it was then or shortly after that she started dating Dodi Fayed, his son.
She
was. So this is all 97 post.
I thought she was married at the time.
She got divorced.
Okay.
So this is post divorce with Prince Charles. I forgot his name. There's so many just generic white names whenever you talk about like the royal family. And they're all like no one has a unique name. So she went back a few weeks later and was with Dodi, and that was like when it became public that they were dating. So then like his they were staying in the Ritz in Paris, which the father Muhammad owned. Like that's the kind of money that they're like that
expensive.
was like
Got that,
yeah
got
yeah
that
and
hotel
like
money.
and like people
Well, she's
always
princess,
and like one
so.
of the things that like people always talk about like Diana was like that they like make her out to be like this everyday woman. And they always love to say like oh
was
like
she a commoner?
no, not at all.
I didn't
Like
think so.
people are like, oh, Prince Charles, he married like, you know, Princess Diana was a school teacher's assistant before she married Prince Charles. And it was like, yeah, but she was also married into like the upper echelon of like British royalty. So like no, not a like she was I read somewhere she was the first British, or she was the first like royal bride to have a paying job before her engagement.
Okay.
To
cool.
so that was an interesting
Yeah.
like that she had a paying job.
A job.
She wasn't just like rich and wealthy for the sake of being like rich and wealthy. Not that a teacher's assistant is rich and wealthy. So there was actually, like, I never knew before I started really looking into it that there was 4 people in the car. There was the driver, obviously, Diana and Dodie, and then there was a security guard named Trevor Reese Jones, and he survived but needed like immediate facial reconstructive surgery. He was a bodyguard, I believe, that worked under the father.
Was he the only survivor in that accident?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he had like no memory of the accident. Conveniently,
and we had to change his face.
Yeah, they had to do like reconstructive surgery on his face, like, which is like, it almost sucks because you feel like if there were like
something after that,
if there was something like if this accident was like acted upon from like an outside source, like there's always like innocent people who die, and like obviously all 3. And then
in an immediate witness protection.
Yeah, and then like one of the like it was like super weird. Within a few hours of the accident and Diana being pronounced dead, 7 members of like the paparazzi were arrested and charged with manslaughter.
Jesus Christ!
Because they were chasing them, right?
Because they were chasing them.
Still, like, I don't know if that's necessarily enough to.
And that's apparently why they left the restaurant they were at. Like, they felt like other people in the restaurant weren't actually eating. They were just they were there to like watch. She was the most photographed woman in like the world, like by far. So like anywhere she went caused like a hubbub. So 7 members of the paparazzi get arrested, and then less than 2 days later, the French government puts out that it wasn't that it wasn't the paparazzi's fault, that the driver was drunk and had like Prozac in his system, and his blood toxology was like 3 times the legal limit. 3 times the French legal limit,
which is different than here,
which is a lot.
Yeah, you got to assume they drink a lot in Europe.
They drink and then they hop on those little Vespas and
and then just zipping all around. And then there's like all the different, where it's like, again, like the JFK thing, where like JFK gets assassinated in public in Texas, and there's like one viable film, and it's grainy, and it seems like it's come from like an old crank camera and whatnot.
Not the best angles.
No, but and then the Princess Diana thing, like they recreated her drive from the restaurant they left to where they were to the tunnel where they eventually died in, and there was like 10 different locations where there was like CCTV cameras, but none of them were facing the right way, or some of them were malfunctioning, and they belonged to like the small businesses, so they were kind of looking at the doorway and not into the street.
Well, that makes sense, but still.
Yeah, and then there's a camera at the overpass for the tunnel. And the accident occurred at like at around 12:30, or I believe like around 12:30 is when they left the restaurant in that after midnight time, and the camera from the overpass was off because the Paris urban traffic unit closes at 11 p.m. and they don't have an overnight shift.
Accidents don't close at 11 p.m.
So nobody is manning this camera at a very busy tunnel.
Well, me and Allison know that cameras record 24/7.
Yeah, well, this is
they record to a server. They don't need to be watched.
Oh, I thought this is about work anymore.
This is 1997. I don't know all the technologies, but like
still
no, I would think so.
They had a backup.
They had tapes. You had to switch the tapes.
Yeah. So, and when you
My
think
mom had to switch the tapes to the Sports Authority.
Nobody, we don't have an overnight shift, we would change the camera tape at like 10:45 if we close at 11. And it's just like, it's like one of these things. And then there is also reports of a white Fiat Uno being in the tunnel.
They had Fiats at that point?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were like a newer car.
No, it's Europe. They had all the cool stuff before we did.
I wouldn't go cool, but
they were playing Uno.
Yeah. So they had a white. There was like a couple reports of like a white Fiat Uno that was in the tunnel. And there was one guy, I forget his name. I believe his last name was Anderson. He they pretty much said like, oh, like that's his car. He was in the tunnel.
They identified it.
And then they did a bunch of research and stuff like that, and or like investigative. And his car was like older than what it was, and it was
It didn't match up
he hadn't been
exactly.
driving it. His wife
Yeah.
said he was home at the time. So he got they cleared him of any possible wrongdoing. But then conveniently in the year 2000, I believe, this man is found dead in his car with like his head decapitated.
What?
And they just declare it they found his body in the driver's
suicide.
seat and his head in between the two front seats.
It's
And
impressive.
they declared it a suicide. Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
behead himself and then picked his head up and put it next to him.
Yeah. So
that's impressive to do that yourself.
yeah, and they said there was like, I believe I read somewhere that there was like also like a hole in his head. So like, which you would think a gunshot wound, but he
shot himself in the head.
But they said it was a fire. Yeah,
he
He
shot.
just burned a cigarette against his forehead and called it a day.
No, he shot himself in the head. Was resurrected
Yeah.
as a zombie, and then cut his head off.
Just popped it off and put it in the passenger seat.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I love these theories. Like, don't even make sense. Like, there's no possible way that that's the thing.
they said it was a burnt out car. So they said there was a fire at one point, and then like maybe it was like maybe the hole in his head was like a cigarette or something,
but it's
and like
not gonna chop your head.
it's
Fire's
not
not
gonna
gonna chop your head off.
It's not gonna lop your head
Yeah.
off. But then I found
was the car crashed though?
I don't know.
Maybe the seatbelt cut his head off.
Yeah, the way you were describing it, it makes me think that it was just like in the park.
I think
in
it was
his
like in
driveway.
the woods or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, he was in a
Yeah.
parking garage.
I found so then like you keep looking and there was like there's just this total like off throw. They said there was a 22-year-old cab driver whose name is very hard to pronounce, Levanthon, I believe. It's French. I don't know. I'm butchering that. Had a Fiat, same car. Initial reports was that he was at work that day. Then his coworkers said he left work early that day, so he could have been at the scene.
Gotta love those coworkers.
And then in 2006, his dad said that he woke his brother up in the middle of the night of the crash.
Death, yeah.
And he and his brother spray painted the white Fiat red.
What the fuck?
So like, and it was like one of those things where like that's just, and then he declined interviews. Like that was like it.
Well,
like they never got
a reasoning for painting a white car
in the middle of the
red
night. In the
at
middle of the
midnight.
night.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, when
unless you're hiding your car from something. That why?
Yeah, so that
hiding
was
the blood all over it.
And then it's just and then it's just like oh,
yeah, it happens to be a nice shade of like maroon.
yeah, it's a really deep maroon.
It's a dark
color.
blood red.
Yeah. So then like, but then there's just like nothing on that guy because like he's never been interviewed past that. He's never like they've never just followed up on like because the thought was initially it just said, oh, the driver lost control of the car and crashed into one of the center concrete things
randomly.
But because he was drunk and on Prozac.
That okay.
Driver. But then they said there came out a bunch of people who said like there was an accident with like a white Fiat involved, and then they find a guy who's a cab driver, left his job early, owns a Fiat in the middle of the night, paints it red.
How coincidental is that?
Yeah, like how there was also a MS6, like a former MS6 agent. His stuff got like he actually got arrested because they said all of his stuff was lies.
The royal family in general is a little sketchy. Like,
they
can make you say whatever they want.
Well, and then because like eventually they did do an investigation into the murder, and like, but who's got a heavier hand in England than the Queen?
The Queen.
Like, I feel like everything could be pointing in the direction of the royal family, and the royal family could just go like, no,
that doesn't
and then
sound right.
yeah, like we wouldn't do,
like
we wouldn't do something like that. Like initially, like MS6 denied that their agents even had like license to kill, but then it came out like no, they do. So there was a former MS6 agent who said that they took down a former, like a president from like another country in a tunnel, like with strobe lights, and possibly like that was what happened. That like when the car entered in, like just a bunch of strobe lights went off
to kind of
and then
distract.
and then they said that got disproved. And then the crime scene, the accident scene, it isn't a busy tunnel in Paris, France, but
Okay.
it's a car accident scene, and it's involving a billionaire's son and Princess Diana. And the whole scene is cleaned and the tunnel is reopened within 4 hours of the accident.
There's no way that
I've seen the White Horse Pike in New Jersey be shut down for fender benders for a lot longer than that.
All the accidents that usually happen outside of 814.
Yeah, and it's like, and for there to be an accident involving a Mercedes where 3 of the 4 people
royalty,
die.
billionaire,
royalty,
no fucking way.
bodyguards for and where there's multiple casualties, and within 4 hours the scene is cleaned.
Yeah.
And
like there's no time for investigation to study.
None.
Look at
None. And then there's like and then they say that opens up the door for like if MS6 like is involved, you know,
Kinda
they can
brushing
kind
it
of
under the rug,
skedaddle on out. Yeah. And another super weird thing was Diana was so initially a reporter for I forget what network got word that, you know, the initial reports went out. It was a super serious accident, multiple casualties, Diana seriously injured. And then it comes out she's dead. And then a couple weeks later, a reporter or a news anchor comes out saying that Diana had initially hit her head and had like a concussion and then broke her leg. But like, oh, she's expected to pull through. Like it's not that serious. And then within hours is dead. Like they're saying there was like a contusion in the pulmonary vein where these doctors are like, we've never seen anything like this before. Like it was the worst accident we've ever seen. Which all seems like a little convenient. Yeah. And she was, and then another, you know, it's one, she was embalmed like almost immediately.
No studying her or anything like that first.
They hospital blamed it. They did surgery on her, apparently couldn't save her, and then put her in a room across from where the surgery was done and said it was a super hot day in Paris that day. And they tried to blast the air conditioning and they put dry ice in the room to keep the temperature down. But apparently she was already decomposing because of how hot it was. It is chilly.
It is cold down here.
Like her body was already decomposing and like rigor mortis was already like setting in. And they didn't want, and her sisters and Prince Charles and the French president were coming to see the body, and they deemed it unacceptable for her to be shown in that way. The hospital deemed this.
Yes.
That was unacceptable for Princess Diana to be shown to her sisters and ex-husband and the president of France in her current dead state. So they embalmed her like almost immediately. And then
do you think it was just like stupidity and errors, like because they were so nervous that the royal family was coming into their hospital?
Maybe, but then they also
sounds like
but then they also broke procedure because they also said that like somebody gave a verbal order, but in that hospital all the paperwork had to be completed before the embalming.
Okay.
And then they got the verbal order, embalmed her, and then everything got filled out afterwards. And then but the thing that makes tricky is that Dodi's father, Mohammed, the billionaire, he was the one who like led the charge on all the like the conspiracy theories and like mostly thinking like my son was murdered because he was in a car with Diana. Like so he wanted to get to the bottom of it. And one of the things that he said was he said that the royal family had Diana killed because Dodi was planning on proposing to Diana, and the royal family didn't want the future king of England's stepfather to be an Egyptian Muslim. So he thinks that they had is real big.
I don't think that's like
the dad was like, yeah, that was leading the charge
in left field.
on.
Like,
no,
that
it's not totally off
sounds like
base.
it could be an actual
saying
possibility.
Didn't want the royal family didn't want like, the
up the ass.
future king's stepfather to be an Egyptian Muslim, and then he came out saying that because Dodi was going to propose, that he was Diana was also pregnant with Dodi's kid.
Ooh.
which I tried to do the math on like when they met and how many times that they had met and like how far along she would have been.
Was she actually pregnant? Like, because she was at the hospital.
They couldn't because they embalmed her. That like all like the tests were like null and void.
Do you think that maybe it was like an actual like verbal order from somebody because they were trying to hide all of that?
Maybe, sure. But it would have been, first of all, it would have been like super duper early along in the pregnancy, like almost to the point where like early detection. Because she dated a heart surgeon for 2 years post-divorce and then broke up. That relationship ended, and then she started dating Dodi within the month.
Did the heart surgeon work at that hospital?
No.
Was this a revenge?
No. She described him as the love of her life, the heart surgeon, and called him Mr. Wonderful. After she met him, she came up with excuses to the press on why she was visiting this hospital so much. Like she was obsessed with this guy. Okay. She said, and like the worst part was like she was super charitable, but she was like, "Oh, I'm visiting sick children in this hospital every day," and really was there to kind of pursue this surgeon, which is like, imagine being one of those kids in that hospital and like Princess Diana.
She was there. She never came to see me.
Imagine if Princess Diana does visit you, but then you're like, oh, she was visiting me as a publicity stunt so she could go get banged out by the heart surgeon down the corridor.
You know what though? Like I would take it. I'd be like, I suck it up for the team. She was there. Not to see me, but she saw me.
Yeah.
You're being pursued by a princess. Like
yeah. Oh, and they said that, and I think I watched a video where they said that her first time in that hospital, she was visiting friends, and then there was somebody who needed to get surgery, so the doctor went like running by her, and he didn't notice her.
That Baywatch drug.
Yeah, except in a lab coat. Like he didn't notice her. She kind of like was like taken aback by that. Like, hey, dude, I'm Princess Diana. Like, you're gonna run past me. So she got pretty infatuated with that guy, and then that relationship ended, it says, in the summer of 1997, and then it said like within the month she started dating Dodi. So like the time for her, like it wouldn't be like she was like 3 months pregnant or something like that, like unless it was with
like weeks.
Yeah, like
but before she would have even known about it.
Yeah, which is why that claim that the dad has always been like, oh, like she was pregnant with Dodi's kid kind of gets tossed out.
Maybe that's like his conspiracy.
Yeah. And apparently, so the dad is, or the son, Dodi was, it says a film producer. If you Google him, he was a film producer. So the dad's like, he's a billionaire. He's got his hands in everything. He wanted to make a movie about their death, and
regardless of whose perspective it would be through, I would still watch it.
Got shit canned probably because he didn't want to deal with like the legal
with the royal family.
The royal family coming after him.
But there was like one like super duper like big thing. I think it was in 1995 that Princess Diana wrote like a letter to a former butler where she claimed that they were planning her murder. And he said,
who's they? Who was planning?
She believed it was
the royal family.
Wow. Mostly her ex-husband,
which was Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
And she said, and the thing that leads the most precedent to it is she said, they're messing with my car. They're going to make it look like an accident, like a head injury or something like that. Because one of, like, in the royal family, if you get divorced, you can't remarry unless your ex-spouse passes away. So she was claiming that Charles was in love with
Diana still.
no, Charles was in love with
Camilla.
Not even Camilla. This lady Tiggy, who was their son's former nanny. And she initially said that Tiggy was pregnant with Charles' baby, and then they had to abort it because it was out of wedlock and whatnot. So Diana wrote in her letter, like, they're planning on killing me to clear the way for Charles to marry.
Because he wouldn't have been able to marry
He
either.
could never remarry as long as Diana was
she
alive.
Couldn't as long as he was alive, but it was both of them.
Yeah, so neither one of them could get but she got her title dropped.
She was just Diana.
When they got divorced, they agreed on divorce agreements, and initially the queen said that she could keep her title as Princess Diana, but Charles insisted that they get rid of it, and her son, the elder son, William. No, William, her oldest.
Oh, her
oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
When he told his mom, "Don't worry, when I'm king, I'll give you your title back."
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Can I have one too?
Yeah, I know, William.
I have one.
Hook a brother up. Yeah, you're a lord, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, you're a lord.
Tim got it for.
That thing, because you bought property.
Don't say that thing. I have a plaque.
He's got a plaque.
He also bought it for his other friend, never gave it to him, so his friend doesn't even know he's a lord.
Well, he doesn't deserve it.
There's just a guy walking around who's a lord and doesn't know it. Wow,
it's mine. I have it.
If you buy
double
land
lorded.
in like
I do. It's right
Scotland or whatever.
Right when you walk into my
lord,
apartment,
so.
everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Everyone
Yeah,
knows.
you have to know.
I think it's like $50 to do so. You buy like an acre of land.
Listen, stop
Yeah.
degrading
I'm
my
telling
lordship.
the camera.
Yeah, no, this is like, first of all, this is like the longest I've ever
It was
talked.
every Instagram ad, like 10, not even 10,
Yeah,
5 years
yeah,
ago.
like, oh, like you.
It was all over TikTok and shit.
Yeah, want to get a real thoughtful gift for your friend? Make him a lord.
Make him a lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this is like the longest I've ever talked without telling people like I'm an owner of an NFL team.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
but it
Wow.
sounds really cool when you say it, but like I own one.
Is it your fantasy league?
No, I own one seat in the Green Bay Packers stadium in Lambeau Field.
Oh.
So you become, but they call you an owner.
Oh.
So like for like $230, I became.
So what, we got like
owner.
an hour into the conversation.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll talk about
know.
this.
How
a
long
little
have
bit.
I known you?
I was
And I
gonna
don't think
say,
I've ever
I've known
known
you.
that,
I think I've known you for 5 years now.
Yeah, so so on this couch right now is a Lord of Scotland and an NFL owner.
And
Wow.
then
All for like the
All
cheap,
the
cheap
power
price.
that we
and then
own.
the
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah, and yet somehow you got your own seat when
I
there's
know.
an NFL owner and a Lord,
an actual
over here.
lord in your presence.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys ain't shit.
And I have a whole bridge named after me too. You better watch out. I'll drop it on you.
Not you,
It's
after
not
your
me.
grandfather.
My grandfather.
wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in his hometown.
You should. It will. Yeah. If you go to Paulsboro,
There's a bridge named after your
Way to out
grandfather.
yourself.
Wow,
It's like your hometown.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I am royal. South Jersey royalty.
South Jersey. I am Paulsboro royalty.
Gloucester County royalty to be exact.
Good outlets there.
And
Good
that's
outlets.
it.
You know what?
They're in Camden County.
Yeah, they're in Camden
Yeah.
County, but they're the Gloucester.
They're just the Gloucester outlets.
Gloucester outlets,
Because
yeah.
I think they're in Gloucester Township, which is not in Gloucester County.
No, and it's also Blackwood.
Yes.
Yeah.
lots of confusion.
Yeah,
So you never know where you are.
none. just totally confused.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Going back to like, I would not put it past the queen to do something
No.
that vindictive. Like,
Not my queen.
no, she straight up seems like she could like
What's his face though? Yes.
end
not my
someone's
queen.
life and
Prince.
just like pay someone.
Charles.
There's Prince
What's
Harry.
Philip.
Philip's
Philip,
the yeah,
that's
the
her
lizard.
son.
Yeah, the lizard king.
Wait, she
He's
had
definitely a
Charles and
vampire.
Philip then, right? No,
No,
her
Philip's her husband.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
not my queen.
So she had
I know, You're
Charles.
from America.
Who's your queen? Beyonce?
No,
No.
the Queen of England.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Your grandma's from England,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, but that's just always like the one.
Well, they
like,
don't like that. They don't. No one actually from there likes the royal family.
Yeah, no, like who cares? And that,
I
and
would
like that
love
was
to see the letter.
and that was the big thing about Princess Diana was like everyone started to care. Like the royal family, no one gave like a rat's ass about. And
Okay.
then like they just got infatuated with Diana because she gave them like the
Attention.
she gave them the sense of realism. Like she was very outspoken.
Grounded them.
Well, she was
She-
like a celebrity.
Well,
Yeah, she was very outspoken about like
Yeah.
she was depressed and like all that stuff, and like she would actually talk about like not everyone seeing eye to eye in the royal family, and like they actually told her like, hey, what happens in Buckingham Palace like stays in Buckingham Palace.
And she was
But
not
she
about
was
that.
like very outspoken and would
Mhm.
like give interviews. And there was also one of like, and her marriage with oh my god, Charles was doomed from the start. There was a video and I saw it, and it's
They seem completely different.
they weren't compatible at all. He was dating her older sister the first time they met. Um,
Okay.
but there was a video where it must have been like right after they got engaged, and it was brutal to watch. Like the interviewer asked them both, like, "Are you guys in love?" And she answers back immediately and says, "Of course." And he goes, "Whatever in love means." Like that was his answer on like national TV, like future king and queen of England, and he's just like, yeah, whatever the hell that means. And apparently it ruined her. Like, so they were
First of all, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's basically saying no, he's doing it because it's kind of like his duty as
Yeah.
a prince to marry somebody and take over.
Yeah, they met. I think the number is they met like 13 times before they got engaged.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there's no like, yeah, oh
My parents were together like 3 months before they got engaged.
I know.
And they saw
And
each
that's
other like
even
almost
absurd. Yeah, but that's
every
even
day.
But
absurd.
that's the difference between an arranged marriage.
I
Yeah, they
guess,
started
but
date-
that
yeah.
doesn't, I mean, like the way it's portrayed, it's not an arranged marriage, but
But that's
Yeah.
how all marriages usually used to happen back in the
it
day
used to
with
be that way.
royalty.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's strengthen our home, our
Mhm.
two families. I will marry your daughter,
Yeah.
and you will marry the
That's
next person that happens to be
crazy to
12
me.
years old. Like
Yeah.
it's just like that's
Yep.
what you did, and it's still a tradition.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore, but
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
'cause
not in England.
now they're marrying American women, Meghan Markle.
I know, and then they're
First of
excommunicating
all,
them
though,
to California.
Yeah.
She is the best thing that happened to that family. Like she is so like herself.
Yeah,
And
well, and
love
I don't
that.
I don't think that Meghan Markle is able to do what she does now if Princess
Meghan
Diana
She
doesn't
is not,
exist.
but
Mhm.
she's not accepted in that family.
No.
She
That's why they're
and that's why
they
they're
left.
back in
Yeah.
America on their own, like not associated with the
Yeah.
royal family. However, I think Kate's a fucking sellout. Sorry,
No,
but,
absolutely. Yeah,
like
no,
she just
no,
like
absolutely.
she started like I think she
Well,
started
I
as
mean,
like
she's British. Like
she started
Yeah.
as a, well. The thing is, I think she started as a stripper, didn't she?
No, I don't think so.
No, but she was a common.
She had
They met in-
something like
they
that.
met in college. I don't think she was a stripper.
I swear to God,
They met in
I don't
college.
think she was a stripper.
Well, I'm gonna look this shit up.
I
She's
think,
very pretty,
I think
but-
you're starting conspiracy.
Yeah, you're
my
starting
God.
conspiracy that Kate Winslet
I
is a
swear
stripper.
to God, I heard she was a
is-
stripper.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, they met in college, and that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like Princess Diana was like just like so not like about that. She actually she shook the hand. She was like she was very real. Like she shook the hand of
Common.
somebody with like AIDS, which is back when they back when they thought that like people could get AIDS through touch. God, if you look up like all the things, she learned sign language so she could be like a patron for a deaf school. Like she was just she really like she was cool.
Down to earth.
Yeah, but she also
wasn't, like, stuck up
but
like
like she also
everybody
wasn't
else.
like an angel. Like people are always like, "Oh my god, she was an angel," but like she had affairs.
Oh, if I was a
rumored.
part of the royal family, people be getting killed left and right.
Exactly. Yeah. But like so
I'd
but
be like,
and
you
then
crossed me. You're
and
dead.
so like the big one with Charles was Camilla, obviously, with the affair with her, and then when they get divorced, she asked
It's her cousin.
her cousin was a stripper.
Her cousin was a
Ugh.
stripper.
I was like, yeah, I don't think she was.
Meet Kate's.
Ugh.
The title of this one is Meet Kate's stripper cousin.
Hell yeah. You know what? I think they need more of that in the royal family, to be honest with
Shake
you.
it up.
Imagine their
That's Kate.
that's Kate.
That's her stripper cousin.
Yeah, sure.
She has a Union Jack on her side.
Yeah, she's got the
so-
Union Jack. She's got more British attire than Kate does.
I don't know. In case we can't do this, you
Yeah.
get this.
I would 100% be a part of the royal family.
Would you? That Kate. They said that you're still over there just showing stripper pictures.
I mean, that's not.
No, that's not that bad. Like, is she a
She looks
stripper?
like me when I go out drinking for the night.
Yeah, like, is she a stripper or
A commoner.
yeah, a
She
common
is,
folk?
straight up.
And she
But, like,
probably is
imagine that,
also
like-
standing on tables punching people in the face.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't think Diana described living in Buckingham Palace as like extremely lonely.
I
sure
feel like
is.
it would be
Yeah.
a prison.
Yeah, she talked
sentence,
about that. Like she talked about it being like lonely. Like she quit her job, so like she was just like confined to
Mhm.
She
that.
didn't have any outside
Yeah,
companionship.
And then when they got divorced, they she was just doing like a press junket where she talked about how depressed she was and what really goes on behind the scenes of the royal family. And so the royal family would gain something from her not being around if they just
Do you think if she kind of stayed a little more quiet, she wouldn't have been killed?
well, she still
Well, it
I
was
mean,
an
Diana
accident.
said in her letter that Charles wants to get remarried and he can't remarry as long as I'm
Yeah, but
here.
I mean,
and then he did, and then he went and then he went and
I
married
think-
Camilla, who was like his girlfriend beforehand, who he cheated on Diana with, and then his girlfriend. Right? It was like
Yeah, but I mean, like the queen she can do whatever she wants. She could change it. But I'm just saying, like, if she was a little more quiet, do you think they would have just changed it without anyone noticing?
yeah,
and just,
maybe.
he would have
maybe.
married.
Well,
But
where
then-
was
but
that
then it was
letter
like-
found? The one that said, "If I die, it's going to look like an accident." But
She sent it to a former butler, and that's another
so it
problem.
was
was-
found through emails.
No, it was a physical letter. He held on to it for like 6 years and like never came forward with it. Like he
Oh,
didn't.
yeah, I
come-
wouldn't either. He'd be next.
Yeah, like he didn't come forward with
But
it, and
after
then
she
she.
after she died, he came
Yeah,
forward with it.
like 6 years after.
instead of like beforehand to prevent it.
Mhm. And then
Okay.
he blacked out. She named who she thought it was going to be. So like everyone's just kind of assuming it's like, oh, it's the royal. But like in the letter, she says a name, but he blacked it out because like he didn't
He
want.
was worried himself, and I understand.
He
it.
absolutely, he absolutely was. And then then there's just like a bunch of other like weird stuff that happens with like the royal family, like where there was a bodyguard for the royal family who was like specifically tasked with watching Diana, and she described it.
after the divorce.
No, pre-divorce in like
Okay, make sure
1980.
she was
sorry, in
staying
like
on.
in like 1984, like just a bodyguard, and she described him as like the greatest friend you can ever have, like blah 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 blah, and was like very. And then she also said like someone in that field was like the love of her life, and she would leave it all behind for him. So they deemed that her relationship with this bodyguard was inappropriate, and then he gets fired from. Diana described it as getting chucked out of the job. And then in 1987, he dies. How? Car crash. So like,
It's a serial car crasher. Out
yeah,
there.
there's just
There's and then the one guy who had the white
the white Fiat. Yeah,
Fiat
imagine if he was there
gets
too.
beheaded.
another white
Well,
Fiat that
that's
was.
that was the different guy. Like there's just like so much, and it's like how much weird stuff can happen involving, and I get it. Everything that happens regarding like the royal family or like
Secretive.
it was like not even secret. It gets a little more attention.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it
And
could
blown
be.
out.
But
It could
that's
be
a lot of coincidences to
exactly.
hop on top of another.
How many coincidences could it be that they're driving through a very busy tunnel and
No cameras
No
can witness
cameras are working.
anything.
like
But yet they all but one die, right?
yeah, all but
four
one,
in the
and then-
car, all
yeah,
but one
yeah.
die. And he had to get facial reconstruction.
Yep.
Diana was embalmed right away.
immediately the scene cleaned up, like everything was like it's just and
So
then
the
all-
bodyguard
I
was
just
the
pictured a
one.
car crash and literally right behind it a street sweeper. Just
yeah, just
Yes.
immediately just a
swoop.
bulldozer just pushing it like right, and then like
Nothing
and
to
then there was
see.
also I forget what the term is. Let's just say an investigation. If somebody dies in another country, but their bodies are brought back to England for burial, there needs to be an English investigation into the deaths. There was only
it always happens in like two parts, like the country's investigation and then England's investigation.
Only if
sure.
you're an English citizen and you die out of country and then you
Okay.
come back in. There was only ever a French investigation.
She died in France,
and
yeah.
you're sitting there thinking like, I mean, you would think that Princess Diana would get an investigation, and like she just didn't. So,
but the French and the English don't always have such a amicable relationship. So it's
yeah, but like
there's definitely more to the story that you just don't know, and maybe not.
Yeah,
we'll never know.
I'm gonna call up Marcone, like, yo,
because it sounds like a lot of things were hidden.
Yeah, and like the one big one is just like the immediate cleaning of the crime scene.
Yeah,
immediate,
or like the almost instant embalming.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, and then for the hospital to say it was a really hot day, like
it was a
I get it. I get
order.
it. I get it. It's 25 years ago, but like you don't have. First of all, you don't have an air conditioning unit that can keep a room at a certain temperature, especially when there's a dead body in there.
Wait,
end of August, August 31st.
Is France similar to England? Because like they don't have air conditioning in England because they don't get as hot as we do typically.
Yeah, I guess.
But
so.
even still, at that point, it's the end of August.
I see those videos all the time. They don't have central air.
They don't have central air. They don't have window units because it doesn't get hot.
But it's got to be. But you're thinking it's a hospital. There's got to be some room where you can put a dead body where it's not going to decompose.
It's the end of August. You're close to September. Get into fall.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little cooler than it is in like.
Most hospitals have morgues in them.
Yes.
Correct.
You don't need to leave a
Not
dead
most,
body
like all of
in
them.
a room.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and like I'm
sure most of them, mostly all of them do.
Yeah,
Maybe
and it's
they were
like
going Grey's Anatomy style. They were trying to keep it like hot and humid so they can go fucking.
They kept putting an ice pack on their heads, like it's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. She's dead.
I just and like the one thing I don't get is like, I get it. It's Princess Diana. She's easily identifiable, but like, if I, a layperson, die.
You'd be right in the dumpster.
Well, not even right in the dumpster. They're gonna call
you go right down the garbage chute.
They're
gonna call my family and they're gonna come show. And like I could get stabbed through the midsection and my intestines fall out.
Yeah, and they'll have to identify.
And my mom will have to show up to the hospital, and I'd be like, "Yep, that's my son. Thank you for showing me that." But it was unacceptable for Diana's family to see.
How bad of a car accident was that?
They were going 70 miles an hour, and then they said none of them were wearing.
One was doing a facial reconstruction, but how badly can you look? They can make you look pretty good after a car accident.
Yeah.
How badly can you end up being where they can't even show your family your face?
Yeah.
At the very least, show like an arm. Show like a leg or something like that. Like there has to be something.
These ankles.
There has to be something.
You have to identify these ankles.
Like I don't know. I feel like I've got pretty like my scar on my hand and everything. I feel like
they
I've got pretty
would
identifiable.
say like your teeth or something like.
Yeah, they would do like that.
Yeah, that's my thing. And then the fact they have to embalm her.
Yeah, the embalming of her right away is like the embalm. Yeah, like that's like the super.
If the conspiracy is true that she was actually pregnant, you won't know anymore.
Never. Yeah, all that tests come back like all wonky, and then and it's just and like who, the royal family wants you gone. Like you're gone.
You're gone.
And they can make it look like an accident.
Well, I think that's also another thing. Like, I would be so worried to marry into that family because if that's how easy it was to get rid of somebody they didn't like,
who was the most photographed woman in the world.
How do I know that they're not gonna like me? Like, they might try to get rid of me that easily.
Yeah. I don't think they're killing people anymore though. They're not.
I think they would.
If they haven't killed Meghan's family.
Yeah.
With all the interviews they've been doing, it's not even Meghan calls them to stir.
Oh, isn't the dad?
It's the dad
and
like
cannon.
the sister.
Yeah.
Like if they're not killing people, I don't think they're killing people anymore. If they're not killing them.
No, well the Queen's so Oh,
I mean, it might
She's
be a
too tired.
slow
She can't-
death. They might.
the
can't
queen's
commit
not the
murder
queen's not
anymore.
even returning to England to be there when they appoint the new prime minister for the first time
So wait,
in
who's
her
gonna be the queen?
1,000-year
He's
reign.
going to be the
Kate?
king.
But I mean, like, it's gonna be William. It's
No,
the
No,
king.
it'll be your son.
No, it's gonna be Charles.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot about him.
and then he's going to die
we
instantly.
were literally talking.
Well, no, I think it's well. I
but
think
he's gonna die soon enough too.
I
He's
think it's
old
going to
as
go to
fuck.
him. He's going to abdicate, and it's going to go to what's his face.
Will.
Yeah.
William, because
He's
Harry
too old.
Harry's now out of the running.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He was never in the running though. He
Well,
would
yeah,
not have
yeah,
been
yeah.
king anyway.
He was too far down
Dude,
the line.
imagine, but like how?
What's his face?
You
Has
were
too
talk-
many, he has too many kids now. He's too far down the line.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about like?
Slap in the face. Have your brother be king because he was born first.
No.
Oh.
First
I mean,
of
that's how
all,
it
that
works.
would be the sickest situation to get born into. You are the second born
Mm-hmm.
of like the event, like you're second in line to be the king, where you're only 3 years younger than your brother. There's no way you'll ever be king, but like it's like being a backup quarterback on like a
So
football
close,
team.
but
You
yet
get all,
so
but you get
far.
all the
Yeah.
perks of being in the
Mhm.
royal family without having to do like really anything.
Yeah, because then
Yeah, but what
then
is
he
his
has
title
kids. You're
officially?
further down the line now.
You're
What was his
like the
title
duke
be?
of you're the duke of something.
See, Duke sounds
They're
like
They're the
distant cousin.
what's this? The main one is the Duke of Wales,
Mhm.
and then Harry is they're both the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Sussex or Essex?
Sussex.
Sussex. There's
But
too many
what's
Sussex.
Sussex? Is that like a county or like a
cares?
state type
cares?
of equivalent?
It's I believe it is a region.
region. Okay.
I would want to be the Duke of Wales.
That's
Hear
the first one.
Yeah, I
I'd
hear
be the
they have
Duke
good
of
golf over there.
Dolphins.
No, it's not Wales.
that's
the
what-
animal.
I know.
The firstborn or whatever is always
The
Wales
king.
because that's what Princess Diana was. She was Princess of Wales.
Oh, so there's an actual order to
Yes,
it.
and then the second
Oh,
one is Sussex.
Okay.
If there is an order, I don't know if it goes down any further, but
So the third
'cause
becomes
yeah,
like
he
Duke
was,
of
yeah,
something
he was
else.
Charles.
Yeah, there'll be
he was
something
Charles,
else.
Prince of
Okay.
Wales. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just like it's an actual title.
Mhm.
Then.
I
Yeah,
wonder
it's a
if
title.
are they ever the Duke or Duchess of anything in Canada? Because Canada still has the Queen. and the-
Providence. Wait, they don't have kings and queens. They have prime ministers.
they're technically still part of the Commonwealth. So,
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
yeah,
yeah,
they still say God save the Queen.
they're a
In
part of
Can-
they're part of the Commonwealth still. They are independent and they govern themselves independently, but they are still technically a part of the Commonwealth.
The more you know,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
the more you know. God save.
I think
the
Australia
Queen.
is too, right?
Well, that was a
They're a prison.
that was a prison.
That's why they're all crazy down there.
Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna like go to bed tonight and just not wake up tomorrow.
yeah.
Maybe
no,
not tomorrow, but like the day this it releases, like
Yeah,
the
they can take me. I'll join the family.
Yeah, Dan's
wouldn't
fine. He
take
just
you, they would just
Dan
nix you.
Dan was
ready.
just a puff piece for the royal family
ready.
right now. I'd join the royal
I'm
family.
ready.
I think the only way I would join is like I said, like if I was like if
I'm
you were
halfway there. I'm half British.
See, I'm a
if you were my
social person, I
older
couldn't.
brother and I was the younger brother and they were like, Dan is the future king of England. And I'd be like, what'd that make me? Be like, well, unless Dan dies, I'd be like, hope he doesn't. Like, I don't want any of that.
I don't think I could do that. Like I'm a social person, so like yeah, I mean, I need to go to the bar every Friday. I need to like go out and do stuff. Like I don't think I.
Oh, I
could
do it
just,
too. I
like-
have a ball, a literal ball.
You're
Yeah,
fine,
you would
though.
just have
definitely a
have them.
homebody.
Dan would be like, I would sure love to go to the bar.
I was
I'll just take the bar to me.
I know. I'll be like, I need you to go kidnap Anthony.
Yeah, but then you're not gonna have a job, so it's not like you can go out every Friday to vent about your job. You're just drinking every night.
Yeah.
No podcast.
Could you imagine?
we'd be having
could you imagine being in the
feasts.
royal family complaining about that stuff though?
Oh, Allison, we'd be having
Mother.
feasts left and right. Like,
Yeah,
w-
they
like,
don't even
it
like
would be a
do.
good
They don't,
time.
I'd be like 500 pounds.
they don't even do.
well, there
anything
you could
though,
go
do
to the
they?
Royal Fitness Center.
Yeah.
That'll have.
Royal Fitness
Oh, I go to Royal Fitness now.
in Barrington.
Yep.
I drive by it all the time, and I'm like, oh, I should check that out, and I drive right by it.
I thought about it. but I was
Okay,
like,
well, it'll also look like a barn, and then and then you can all because Anthony's coming, he'll be there, the royal
I-
bartender.
Royal bartender. You know what? That's always my dream job. That I am a bartender, not like the royal bartender. You ever watch like any like the Bachelor, Bachelorette?
No.
I watched it a long time ago. I don't.
So
I'm not.
you
I
know the
don't
one
keep
like
up.
Bachelor in Paradise,
Yeah.
where it's on the
they
beach.
have somebody go there.
It's the bartender, and he just married the daughter from Modern Family.
No. Which one?
Hot one or the nerdy one?
The hot one, I think. The older one. Alex was the younger one.
Alex was the younger one.
The older
so
one.
what's her name?
I don't know.
I don't remember any of their names.
Well, they just
So the bartender on Bachelor in Paradise married the hot girl.
because I believe he was a
from-
former contestant on The Bachelor, maybe or maybe not.
Okay,
But
okay.
like, it was always my dream job because like he literally goes there. They only get to drink like 1 or 2 drinks a day, so he's just on this island, and he has to. He's like their faux therapist. Like
They can just vent
a
to
couple like get into a
Well,
fight.
that's how you are with us.
Yeah, a
We
couple
go
will get into a
to
fight, and then they
bar.
just sit at the bar, and then he's like, "What's up, Allie?" And she's drinking like some Mai Tai or like some watered down
Let me
like
tell you about
rum
my
run. Yeah,
day.
and then everyone's like, "Oh, "You're just the best
He
listener."
looked at the other girl.
Yeah. She came onto the show with absolutely no notion of who was dating.
Wait
and
till
asked him on a
Halloween
date.
this year. You're gonna be like, no, I'm not anybody's therapist. Get the fuck out.
My favorite thing though about the only really thing I like about like the Bachelor shows is when they introduce the
Mhm.
people and the careers that they have listed.
What
Absurd.
kind of careers do they have
It's
listed?
it's like
Absurd.
it's the most off the wall description of a career. It's almost just like when you watch like House Hunters where it's like,
That's my favorite meme of all time.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
18 lizards and I'm a stay-at-home teacher. My budget is $1.5 million.
Yeah. He's a
Fuck.
Crayola color specialist, and she's a butterfly catcher. Budget $750,000.
I love it. And it's true.
Yeah, it is really true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a data analyst, and I am a social influencer. And it's
So-
Well,
ugh.
That's
actually they would make money.
believable. Yeah,
They
I
would
wish
make
I
money.
had that type of like.
Yeah, and I do.
I'm sorry, I just got a notification from my TV Time app.
Oh,
Available on
what's
Amazon
Dude.
and iOS.
What is
Archer is starting in 1 hour.
I love that
Archer?
show.
Hey, it came back.
Is it like a Robin Hood style show?
Yep.
No,
Okay.
No.
Oh.
It's a cartoon.
Oh. You guys suck.
I said no right away. Dan lied to you.
You left.
Well, because it was
I don't
because
want that
how
nerd shit.
how fast he said yeah.
That is Dan for you though.
Ugh.
Like,
It's whatever you want. I'm not describing it to you. He's actually a secret agent.
you guys haven't
He's
watched
he.
Immersion
So
Building?
ironically
He
enough,
actually is ironically he works for a secret agent.
he works for a secret agency, but it's called ISIS,
Yeah.
and
That sounds bad.
I
Well,
think it was named before.
It was named
the band.
before, and they even made a joke
They
about
made
it.
a joke
had
that
to,
they were the
like,
good
change
ISIS
the
now.
name.
Yeah, yeah. It's H. John Benjamin, Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
He's the
I
main
don't know,
character.
I don't watch that shit.
It show's been on forever.
It poisons
needs
the
to end.
mind.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I
Bob's
don't-
Burger
I think it's
poisons
just
the mind.
stupid as fuck.
What Bob's Burgers? They came out with a movie for that.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was
Bob
good. I didn't watch it
Burgers?
yet though.
Yep.
Speaking of, that's another conspiracy we have to
Bob's Burger.
cover. No,
Mm.
Simpsons.
Oh, I don't know that one.
You don't know the Simpsons one? Ooh,
What,
maybe
how they
that'll be my
predict the
next
future?
one.
I was never allowed to watch The Simpsons.
I never watched it either,
Yeah.
but there's a conspiracy that they can that the writer of the
Oh.
show predicts the future.
Yeah.
It's true.
He's been right about some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about too much of that now because like
No.
that'll
Yeah.
be a future episode. But
Matt Groening.
I don't know.
He's been right about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like literally scene. by
Sometimes,
scene.
sometimes with that stuff though, because The Simpsons is so popular,
they might.
it makes you think that like maybe The Simpsons did something, and they would be like, you know,
The
Well,
Simpsons-
let
let's
me
do
copy
that.
the
Yeah, like
scene.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Marge is behind everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Every conspiracy, every presidency.
Marge Simpson, she's the best. Yeah, no.
Tim's having a
so-
great time in the
I
other
know, I
room.
hear him talking about his nerd shit in there. Do you hear his like puppet voices?
Is he the mage tonight?
He talks. I don't know.
He's
he
in
talks
his.
in different
He's playing.
voices.
He whatever his character is. Yeah.
It's like no.
I just don't know how it works.
Well, I'm gonna go in and scare him when we're done recording. So
Oh boy.
I wish I could like take a camera. Maybe I'll like try to.
For the love of God, don't touch those cameras.
Not these cameras.
when we're done
this
recording.
camera.
Yeah, when you're done recording, but
Well, if you're wondering what that's gonna look like, it'll be on YouTube in 2 weeks from this point. No, 4 weeks.
ours.
No, me videotaping that. You scaring him.
Oh yeah, it'll
2
be
weeks.
it'll be in 2 weeks because our new
weeks.
episode just came out tonight.
Yeah, our first video episode. This is our second, so it's probably still shitty. We're getting better, I promise.
Yes, I have
It's a
to
learning curve.
It is me
Well,
learning
here's the
how to
problem.
visualize.
Learning curve.
And I
you
said
know?
this to you earlier. I was like, I don't know. Do I look here? Do I look at you? Now, do I look at you?
No, I
like, there's multiple.
Yeah.
The dog's over there. Do I stare at the dog
He's
the
so
whole
cute.
time?
He's cold too. He's a little
Yeah, I
ball.
feel like the looking. when you
The
just,
looking's
like,
bad.
Stare into
Stare
your
down the
soul.
hard camera. You're like, whoa. Like it almost makes me uncomfortable if I watch it.
Me
Like,
too.
And I'm like,
if you watch like another podcast or something, and like, even if they like catch eyes with the camera.
I mean,
at a
I feel
certain
like there's a
point.
time and a place to look into the camera.
Yeah.
A podcast is not that. If you're like
Yeah.
a YouTuber because you're only talking to the camera because
Yeah.
you're supposed to be talking to your audience, that's different.
Yeah, if you're doing like an essay style YouTube video,
Yeah.
you can obviously just look down the barrel of the camera or
Mhm.
like news and all that. But like, I feel like a podcast, you're supposed to kind of be like, that's not even there.
talking, having conversations.
Yeah, that's not even there.
Yeah.
We're not even. What do you mean?
Breaking news.
What do you mean
Wow.
podcast? What do you mean podcast doing this for money and stuff? It's not even. Those cameras aren't
There's
there.
no money being
LOL.
had here.
Yeah, no. I'm just
There's
saying.
zero money being had. Not at this point.
Nada.
My
Yeah.
goal is to just make like even like
Yeah,
$100.
Anthony, you'll get our invoice. We charge you.
for being
What?
a guest.
You have to pay us.
Not well. Listen,
Unless you promote our drink and call it conspiracy happy hour at the bar.
I'll absolutely put that on the menu. But you can.
Can I write it on the board?
I'll make you stickers.
Yeah, but
I'll erase that. You
Yeah.
have shrimp and cod tacos off the board.
Come
Please
grab
do.
a
but
conspiracy
you guys,
happy hour.
you guys need to say nice things about me at my funeral when the British family says
Oh, I
I've said
will.
too much.
Oh,
And I still can't believe, like, that still is the weirdest thing in the world to me, that I've never ever talked about Princess Diana in public. And the moment I tell another customer at the bar yesterday that, oh, I'm going on Dan's podcast to talk about Princess Diana, he shows me a picture of his brother with the king and with the queen and the prince.
Who you
and
said like design the
he
architecture?
designed, yeah, he
of the
designs
castle and everything?
he does the landscaping and the
built it.
The
architecture.
more like this is the weirdest thing
Yeah.
ever. Like you could have literally
Could have been
been
anyone.
talking to anybody.
Yep, could have been
Yeah,
anyone.
I was talking to a customer yesterday at the bar.
Yeah, thought it was so funny that I was just telling this British guy, I'm like, oh, I'm going on this podcast to talk about why I think Princess Diana was murdered. And he was like, hey, you know who that is? That's my brother with the queen. And I was like, what? Like, couldn't have been the worst dude to tell that
Mhm.
to.
And another fun coincidence is my mom and Princess Diana share a birthday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I knew that, but I forgot.
And her funeral her funeral took place like 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, really?
Did it really?
Yeah. Well, if she died
When I googled
today,
it, it said the 6th.
Well, you weren't born in 1997, were you?
No, I mean the day. Not
Oh.
yeah, he's
The
like
day.
5. Wait, no, 97.
I was
You'd
6.
be 23.
What? In 1996?
Your math
7.
is off.
1997. I was
25. I'm really bad
I
at
was
math.
I was 7 years old.
Not you now. I'm saying if you were born 2 days after she died,
Oh,
you'd be
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
God, you make me feel
I
so
I
stupid over
celebrated a
here.
birthday, a birthday,
Yeah, see, that's
2
more
days
like
after
it.
she was
Oh,
married.
birthday.
Just one of them, the 7th one to
the
be
day,
precise.
the day of my birth.
Not me.
No.
So that's what I'm doing the Game of Thrones books right now, and they keep
Mhm.
calling them name days, and it's
Wait, I joined a book club.
I'm gonna start doing that.
yuck.
It was actually really fun because we just meet up and talk about the book for like 5 minutes, and,
And
then
then-
we're at a brewery, so
Oh,
we just
yeah.
bullshit the rest of the time.
Nice. What book did you read?
Well, the one right now is called.
Wait, are you done your conspiracy?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, we're not talking about it anymore.
Well, I would just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I want to be a
pretty
good
much
host
done.
for our
Oh,
guests.
are you
Oh, yeah.
putting your timestamp now?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure he was done before we.
Yeah. No.
moved
No.
on to
No. I'm
something
done. Yeah.
else.
No. Princess Diana was murdered.
Yeah, it's called
end.
Sundown Motel.
See, look, numerology, 908.
908.
Doing that.
Do it. That's your birthday.
I know. It's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I can look
Well,
at my phone
Play
randomly.
those lottery tickets.
Wait, we should go. Are you working on Friday?
No, I'm at Las Bronze on Friday.
Can we go to Las Baranzas on Friday and then go to 814 for your birthday celebration ish?
Oh, it is your birthday.
Well,
yeah.
my
It's the
birthday's
weekend
not.
before.
I
heard
was
that
just
on,
saying my,
heard that
The
on your
weekend
on the last
before.
podcast.
my birthday's not this weekend, but we
Yeah.
can.
When's your
We
birthday?
should.
Don't tell me.
We
'Cause
just
you
said,
said
it.
the funeral?
What time is it?
The 6th. 908.
There you go.
Ah, suck it.
That's what time it is. When's my birthday?
September 8th. What if I was like September 15th?
I swear to God, I thought it was like the 10th for the longest time, but I think it's because that's the date we had your surprise party.
Yeah, I never actually celebrate my birthday on my birthday because it's like
No,
always
the
a
week.
weekday.
It's never convenient.
It's never convenient.
never
Yeah, that would-
convenient. Oh, except when you're like growing up,
No.
or even like you always want your birthday to be like a Friday or Saturday because
Yeah.
those are like the cool days of the week.
Uh-huh.
Haven't had a Friday or Saturday birthday in I guess like 5 or 6 years. This past year, my birthday is on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a Friday. Spend it.
Mine was like a Saturday night.
I spent it. I spent it in New York with my mom and her friend, seeing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh, that's a good day.
Yeah, it was cool.
Was that a musical?
No, you didn't like
It was a play. It was a play, but like it was like
I recently just learned that it's not a musical.
no, not
I thought it was a musical this
no
whole
songs
time,
at all. No,
and
no.
that kind of makes me
So
not
it's
want
a
to see it.
play.
Yeah.
It's a
I picture Hocus Pocus songs. I cast a spell on you.
None of that. Hocus
No.
Pocus without the music.
And now
absolutely
you're
none of
gone.
that. I could go into a whole big rant about that play because
We'll save it for the next podcast.
Yeah.
if you guys ever want to have me on, be like
Speaking
everything wrong with
of-
J.K. Rowling.
Oh,
Right?
Speaking of, if you're not working on the 30th, which is a Friday night,
I will be. But
well,
are
if
you
you want
doing?
to take off,
Are you doing?
a Hocus Pocus 2 party. We're gonna have the projector in the backyard.
Oh my god!
I know.
You're sick. You have a cold coming on in
That's
30
true.
days.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Tell La Esperanza,
gonna do, like-
or bring us tacos.
Yeah. What if I just show up with a bunch of food afterwards?
Done.
I could
What
do
time
that.
do you get done?
We close at 10.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, but by the time we watch the movie,
Yeah.
it'll already started at that point. Can you like take off like at 9?
No,
Okay.
I'm an integral part to the operation there.
He is an integral part to any type
Okay.
of bar.
Dan,
In the
can we arrive at Las Esperanzas
on the
at,
White
like,
Horse
8
Pike.
o'clock
Sure, I don't.
on Friday? This Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
This Friday.
Sure.
And then we go from there to 814.
How old are you going to be this year?
32.
Yikes!
We should. Do
Six
you guys have like a
months.
birthday song? Like, do you come out clapping? It's
Oh,
your
first of all,
birthday.
it's so uncomfortable because
I'm going to be sick coming up on.
no.
I'm coming.
If you sit at the bar, we don't do anything for your birthday. We'll like give you a shot or something, and
I've actually
like,
never.
give you a piece of cake.
We'll go to 814 for that.
I've only eaten outside because it was only
Yeah,
during
you
COVID.
ate outside. But the uncomfortable thing when you go to La Esperanza is one, the birthday song doesn't translate to Spanish directly. Yeah, Feliz cumpleaños a ti. But like, it's so funny because every woman who works there, their English is their second language. So
Mhm.
like,
Oh.
just this white ass family will be like, "It's Dan's birthday," and then they come out with a what's that? With a sombrero.
Taco with
They come out with
wings.
a sombrero and a piece of cake and a candle, and they just like stumble their way through a broken English version of Happy Birthday. And I'm always just like,
I'm like, you
ever-
can say it in Spanish.
if I ever go out and get like, and it's always like 3 of them. You know, like when you go to Applebee's and the whole wait
Happy
staff
birthday
comes out.
from Applebee's
like,
to you.
as
Welcome,
embarrassing
happy
as that
birthday,
is,
and
like at
you
least
too.
there's
Hey.
like 8 of them
Yeah.
out
It's like
there.
2 or 3.
Like at Esperanza,
whoever's
at
not the
Esperanza,
seat.
it's just like 3 women who barely speak English who are stumbling through like the English version
That's
of
nice.
Happy
I
Birthday.
appreciate it.
And but it's always like if I go somewhere, like please, like, and if I go somewhere for my birthday, like especially my mom is the worst with it. Where she'll be like, "It's his birthday," and I'm like, I swear to God, woman, if these people come over with a piece of cake with a candle in it and start singing, I'm gonna kill you.
We should go out in the Philly for your birthday too. Maybe the next weekend.
Yeah,
But,
the
like,
next
Hell at the Moon
weekend.
Or something. Anthony, take off that weekend.
I
too.
love Howl at the Moon.
Me too.
Me too. I haven't been in a while.
Me either. The last time I was there was the only time I was there, and I was with you, and we requested what Redneck Woman.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Red Man Woman.
That's probably the last time I was there too, to be honest.
Yeah, but your friend was working that night
Mhm.
too, so I think we should go there.
I love. Do they still do the board
Yeah.
where like
Mhm.
if you tip, like so
you can
there's
knock people off the board by paying them more money.
yeah.
Oh,
I-
wait, whoever tips the most gets on the board.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went there once and like
And that's
Conspiracy happy hour.
first time I went there, I just like
Well, no,
immediately
it's
raised
song
the stakes.
requests.
Yeah, it's song requests.
Oh.
I immediately
I
just
thought you
raised
meant
the
like you
stakes.
get your name up on the board.
No.
Big
No.
tipper.
It's song
No.
requests.
I gave the guy $50 like right off the jump for I think a Taylor Swift album had just come out at the time.
Mhm.
So I like put that. So they like played it. So like people were coming in like looking at the board like at like 10 o'clock, like thinking they were going to be able to throw like a 10 and get
Yeah.
a tip in there, and they were just like, Well, so they were like, well, you got to beat our man Anthony in order to get your
That's
song
sober
played.
person,
And I was
too.
like, wee, 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 wee.
You have your bucket with your
We
8
need to
straws
bring
coming
him
out
with
of it.
us.
28 straws for one.
And you're like, this is for sharing.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Whatever
I
you
drink
say.
one to myself too. I have all the
Yeah.
straws.
Yeah, we'll
Just
schedule this
compile
ahead of
them.
time.
I'll
That
have
way
to
Anthony
see
has
if-
time to take off and
And I'll ask I'll ask Mary if she's performing.
got it.
She's one of the performers.
Yeah.
Her and her husband performed there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sick.
I worked with her.
Wow.
And then she performed at our wedding, apparently.
Whose wedding?
Her own.
What?
Yeah.
I always wonder that, like, if like
It was
famous...
honestly not it was not
He's sending me videos.
it was
I
not
like,
a part of it. Like everyone that was at the wedding said, you two need to perform.
like he was sending me videos. I was like,
oh wow,
you should have needed a +1. I would have been your
Yeah.
+1.
I didn't get a +1.
I
always
know,
wonder
so I
that,
said
like,
you should have
with-
had one.
Like, what happens like at like Adele's wedding?
Oh, she's singing.
She has Beyonce.
If she's
come
not
and
singing,
sing.
I want my money back.
She
Yeah.
has Beyonce.
I'll take my gift
and
back.
also, okay, so like, let's be like, you're Adele. You're not gonna get another singer to perform at your wedding. So like, you get a DJ. Do you explicitly have to tell that DJ like, hey,
No Adele songs.
no me songs? Like, Mama's here for a good time tonight.
Yeah,
like,
but do you tell your DJ who you are?
oh,
Or
first
do you
of
use an
all-
alias until
First of all, yeah, absolutely. You tell your DJ who you are.
oh my god, I'll do it for free.
Yeah. What?
Oh my god, no.
I
fucking way.
never understood the thought process of giving rich and famous people something for free.
No.
I don't. I get maybe promotion
I was
and
gonna
like
say it's
stuff,
promotion.
but
usually.
like, hey Dan, you're rich
Poor.
and famous. You play.
I
for-
am. I'm a really popular host of Conspiracy Happy Hour.
Absolutely. You here, your dinner's on me tonight, pal. Then you just go like, thanks, and then leave.
Mhm.
Now I'm out. Dan's dinner bill. Like, it's got to be something like, hey, if you're gonna come to this restaurant, we'll let you eat and drink for free, but you got to post
You
about like
promote us.
you got to post like how great
Yeah.
of a time
Mhm.
it is. Like,
Or at least
there was a
tips, though.
former Eagles player who came in to the restaurant one time, and I charged him for everything he drank, and someone was like, I can't believe you just gave him $150 bill.
You
And I was like,
gotta leave me.
I can, because he drank about $120 worth of stuff, and then he bought 2 shots for the couples next to him. So yeah, no, I can believe I gave him $150.
I'm pretty
They're
sure
like,
his contract can afford it.
yeah, they're like, yeah, they're like, yeah. Do you know
I'm sorry, the
yeah.
person who makes over $1 million
Yeah.
a year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely can.
he played for the Eagles for 8 years? And I'm like, yeah. Do you know what his signing bonus was? The signing bonus was like $30 million. So you're damn right, I charged him. Like, he didn't even note. If I go out, I have a $150 tab. I'm gonna pay it. It's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna pay it.
Mhm.
But like, that guy wipes his ass with $150.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, let's sign off
Mhm.
because we can continue this conversation upstairs, but like we don't.
Yes, and I really have to pee.
So do I.
There you
I
go.
am
Okay.
sitting in an ice
So-
box.
Me too. I'm just like
As you
literally
can
like
see,
I am pressing
Everybody
this beer
down
bottle
here
down.
has to pee, so we're gonna say goodbye, and we will catch you next time. Make sure if you are not yet subscribed, which at this point you're listening, but you're also, I hope, watching. Check out our video on Conspiracy Happy Hour.
YouTube.
YouTube page, whatever. Search it. I don't know. You're just looking into your
YouTube page, whatever
YouTube.com/conspiracy
Check out
happy
our
hour.
Patreon. We had a great time at our last Conspiracy
did.
Happy Hour. We would love for more people to be a part of it. So check out that. We also have a book club coming up. I think next month is when we're doing the Conspiracy Book Club.
Mhm.
So
So keep a lookout on our social media
we'll be
once we post
posting-
the book.
we'll be posting the next book that we're reading and stuff. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
We hope our guest enjoyed this episode.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I had a good
He'll
time.
come back.
I know, I'm
Rambling.
really
Oh, I'll come back. I was just rambling.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to. I feel like every time we do this, we have to make our drinks a little stronger. The last time was good. This is a little like
Mine went down a little too easy because it didn't have enough
Yeah.
alcohol.
I know. I added
It
extra.
was not a mudslide.
I added extra.
Oh,
corn oil,
mudslides are
too.
dangerous, especially frozen.
Especially when I make them.
Yeah,
Our-
frozen. Yeah, you
Well,
can
yeah.
hide. You can hide an absurd amount of.
Well, no,
alcohol in a
ours
frozen
was
drink.
ours was a surprise. It was either all ice cream or all alcohol.
Yeah, you
Oh,
take
you
a
were
sip,
saying
you
that,
take
yeah.
ice cream, and then take a sip. Oh, fuck.
I was like, oh my god, this is mixed so well. It doesn't
Oh
taste
wow,
like anything.
this
And
just
then you
tastes like
moved-
Briars.
You move the straw. You're like, I was like, this is what it's like to drill for oil. I found down the vodka.
But thank you guys for joining, and we will talk
Thank
to you
you.
next time.
Bye-bye.
I don't know how to sign off on video yet.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir, Shoshana.